Hi guys, before I get into my video, you have probably noticed something really obvious. Yes, I have put up my decorations for my room. This is specifically for my camera setup, and I do have other decorations in my room as well. I've got a tree and got all tinsel and stuff hanging from my ceiling as well. And yes, I am wearing a Santa Claus hat. I am going to be wearing this every single video that I do in December. And yeah, I do know that it's not December when this video is going to be live. It's going to be the 31st of November, but I thought, what the hell, you know, why not? I'm also wearing a very appropriate shirt. Don't know if you can see what that means. It's a Grinch shirt. Kind of sums up how I feel about Christmas, you know? If I did find one that said Bar Humbug on it, that would probably be more appropriate, but, you know, what can you do? Also, let me know if you want me to add anything to my background or anything like that, if you want me to add any more tinsel or lights or whatever, to make it a bit more over the top and festive or whatever. Just give me some ideas down below. I'm also not used to wearing a hat. I usually don't wear hats. The only time I ever wear hats when I am out and about is when I'm working, because my uniform requires me to wear a baseball cap at work. So I'm not really used to wearing a hat on my head, but you know, I think it looks kind of good. Let me know again down below if you like this whole thing on my head. Hi guys, my name is David. If you are new here, hi, welcome. And if you are new to my channel, welcome back. So today I'm going to be telling you guys all of the novels I bought on my Kindle for the month of November 2020. This is kind of like a series I'm doing where at the end of every month I tell you guys all the books I bought, or show you them rather. And I kind of discuss them as well. I'm not going to review any of these books as I haven't read them before. But if you have read these, let me know in the comments down below what ones are good and what ones you think I should start off with, and I will take it under consideration. And if any of these were recommended to me by booktubers, I will mention their channel names, of course, and I will link them down below. So please check these guys out. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Also, if you see me looking down, guys, I'm just looking at my notes. So the first novel that I bought was Pine by Francine Toon. I believe this is a horror novel, although I cannot remember what it is all about, although I must have read the synopsis when I bought it. But it was ridiculously cheap, and I bought it on a whim, and hopefully it's going to be a good one. So the next one I bought was Edgedancer by Sanderson. This is a novella story focusing around his Stormlight Archive novels. I've never read any of his Stormlight books before. Next year I will try to read as many of them as I possibly can, and I thought I would put this one on my Kindle, so whenever I get to that series, I've got it on my Kindle and it was cheap, and I'll read it whenever I get round to that series. Next I got is The Winds of Dune. This is written by both Herbert and Kevin J.Anderson. Brian is Frank Herbert's son, Frank Herbert being the original author of the Dune series novels, and I'm not entirely sure where Wind of Dune falls into the series. Let me know down below. But again, it was cheap, and I have it on my Kindle whenever I want to get round to actually reading this one. So next I got is Nation by Terry Pratchett. I am not sure if this is part of his Discworld novels. Again, let me know down below if this is part of his Discworld series. I don't know if it is, or if it's just a standalone book. But again, it was cheap, and I thought I would pick it up because I want to get all of Terry Pratchett's work on my Kindle, whether it's Discworld or non-Discworld. And following up from that, I have also bought another Terry Pratchett book called Jingo. This is a novel from his Discworld series, I know that, and yeah, I'm not sure what it is all about. I just saw it cheap and I decided to pick it up. So this next one I bought on a whim because I've heard positive things from this author and I wanted to give this author a chance or a try. This one is called A Man Called Ove, or Ov, I'm not really sure. This is by Fredrik Backman. I'm not sure if this is going to be my cup of tea, but I've heard it talked about on BookTube and I thought I would give it a try. So this next one is The Books of Blood by Clive Barker. This is a short story collection that is really famous amongst Clive Barker fans, which I have become during this year. I know that this has 6 volumes and each volume has a like about 5 or 6 short stories in each volume, and I bought this in 2 novels or 2 books. The first book revolves around volumes 1, 2 and 3, and book 2 revolves around volumes 4, 5 and 6. The reason why I got this is because I wanted to read the short story that inspired the movie Candyland. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm glad I picked this one up, and I'm hopefully going to be doing a buddy read with it as well. So the next one I bought was A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, but I got this one straight after I watched Slowly Red do a video on it. I have been aware of this story, I know what this story is all about as I've seen the movie. Fun fact as well, guys, the movie was partially filmed on my old university campus, so I used to watch it loads of times when I was at uni, and this has been on my radar for quite some time and I'm looking forward to reading this one. This next one is another short story collection which is called Horrorology. Hopefully I've said that right. This isn't written by one person as it's a short story collection that's written by several authors, but it was edited by Stephen Jones and it has some illustrations by Clive Barker, so that was my driving force of actually buying it. But I'm looking forward to reading all these short stories in this book. Again, let me know if this one is any good or not. I saw this one in my local bookshop, but I decided to buy it on my Kindle because it was much cheaper. This next one is a book that I physically saw in a bookstore before lockdown, and I was nearly going to buy it. I picked it up, I read the back of it, it sounded awesome, it was short, and it was by an author that I wanted to get into, or maybe read some of their work to see if I actually liked this author or not. And I was nearly going to buy it, but I decided to check out the price on Kindle and it was much cheaper than buying it as a physical copy. So this one is One Word Kill by Mark Lawrence. This is the first book in the trilogy. I don't know if it's a strict trilogy, whether it has reoccurring characters throughout the books, or whether it's more of a loose trilogy where it focuses more on the world and has different characters and throughout each book. I'm not really sure. Again, if you know, let me know down below. But the first one is called One Word Kill, the next one is called Limited Wish, and the third one is called Dispel Illusion. So I can't really remember much about this One Word Kill book, but it sounded awesome when I read it, I mean the synopsis, and I thought I would get the trilogy. So this next one I bought on a whim. I'm not sure whether I would like it, but the title got my interest. It hooked me on the title alone, so I've got to give this book that. This is called The Haunting of H.G. Wells by Robert Masello. I probably haven't said his surname right, but that's probably as close as I'm ever going to get it. And yes, this is a fictional story based on H.G. Wells, yes, the fantasy author. And I believe this is set in London, and it has ghosts and It's more of a paranormal type of book, I believe, I'm not sure. And it might have some detective work in it, I'm not really again sure. But it was really cheap, it was on sale, and I thought I would give it a try. It may not be my cup of tea. If you have read this, let me know if it's any good or not, but I will read this whenever I have time to actually get around to it. This next one is called Enola Holmes. This is written by Nancy Springer, and this is based on the Netflix show or movie. I'm not sure what came first, the movie or the book, or whether or what was the case. Or I do not know if this is going to be part of a series or not. I haven't read, I haven't actually watched the movie on Netflix, but it's on my radar. But again, this was cheap, and I thought I would give it a try. And yeah, again, let me know if this one is any good or not, or if the show Enola Holmes is any good or not. And but I will probably give it a watch during Christmas time as well. This next one is A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. This isn't a fiction book, this is a non-fiction book written by the man himself, Stephen Hawking, and this is where he tells you about his theories of time and space. Because I originally had this physical copy in my room, I'm not sure if I'll probably give it away, I can't really find it anymore. When I saw this one, I thought it was about time travel or his theories about time travel. Maybe it is, I haven't read it. But I believe it's more of a scientific point of view more than a science fiction point of view, if that makes sense. So the next one I got is The Cannibals of Candyland by Carlton Mellick III. This was brought to my attention by Uptown Horror Reviews, as he did a video on it, and it sounded really interesting, and it's more hardcore horror than anything else. I'm not sure whether this will be my cup of tea. Fingers crossed it will, because this one cost me a bit more than I originally expected it to be, but it's short, so hopefully I will enjoy it. Not sure when I'll get round to it, maybe next year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. This next one is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 2 in his Mistborn series, or his Mistborn trilogy. I have recently read The Final Empire, which was book 1 in that series. Again, I will put my video up here. I really enjoyed that book, although it was a bit complicated in parts, but overall I found it amazing, and I cannot wait to read this book. I will be reading this one and reviewing it in February next year, so I'm looking forward to reading this one and continuing on with this series. Also, something that I noticed while I was reading The Final Empire is that if you are really paying attention, it does mention the Well of Ascension and the Hero of Ages, which is book 2 and book 3 in the Mistborn series. So I thought that was kind of a neat thing. I'm not sure if Brandon Sanderson knew what he was going to call the rest of his Mistborn novels and just inserted the titles into the book, but I found that really an interesting Easter egg. Next I got is The Final Winter by Iain Robert Wright. This one I saw as part of the Kindle Daily Deal, and the book was advertised as being a horror apocalyptic novel. I read the synopsis. It was really short. It was a short paragraph, and pretty much the whole planet is covered with snow, even in places that aren't supposed to be covered with snow, probably like Egypt and stuff, and places like that. And I believe there might be creatures living in this wilderness or in this snow that kill people, and I'm not really sure if there's monsters involved or what. But the synopsis sounded really cool. It was cheap, it's horror, and yeah, it sounded really interesting. This next one is called Lord Falls Bane by Stephen Donaldson. This was brought to my attention by Sully Red, and he describes it as being more of a kind of a clone of the Lord of the Rings novels, although he said that people have been comparing it to that series. I'm gonna be. I find this one really interesting. I did read the synopsis, and it did sound really interesting and fascinating. And yeah, it's part of a trilogy, I believe. The main character seems to be really misunderstood, and he goes into a more of a fantasy type of world, and he thinks that it's more of a dream. I'm not really sure. But it sounded awesome, and yeah, I decided to pick it up. Next I got is The Cabin at the Ends of the World by Paul Tremblay. This was brought to my attention by Alex's Library. She did a video review on it. Although in a thumbnail she did put the word rant, but it wasn't really of a rant video, it was more a video review. It sounded really interesting and cool. Plus it has a quote on the cover by my man Stephen King. So yeah, it sounded interesting. I like the story. It's horror, so and the cover looked really awesome as well. So I can't wait to actually read this one. It sounds really weird and unusual, and I'm really excited to read this one. It's part of a, I'm not sure if it's part of a series or if it's a standalone book. I believe it's a standalone book. But I cannot wait to get into this one. It looks and sounds awesome. Next I got is Eragon, or however you pronounce it. This is the first book in a series of 4 books, I believe. And I had a physical copy of it in my room, but it was advertised on Kindle as being really cheap, and for about like £1 or $1 or whatever. And I decided to put it on my Kindle, and so it would free up a little bit of room in my room, or free up a little bit of space. I did watch the movie many years ago. I thought it was okay, nothing groundbreaking, but I've heard the book is much better. So I am going to be doing my best to read this one sometime next year. And here is my physical copy that I bought second hand. It's like a beat up, well loved, well read book, and yeah, it's just freed up a little bit of space, me buying it on my Kindle, so I'll be able to give this one to the charity shops when they reopen. And the last book that I bought in November of this year is Thorn of the Night Blossoms by J.C. Kang. I bought this one straight after I watched Loveless Degrees, Tiffany from Loveless Degrees, do a video review on it. And I believe this is, the author is a self-published author. It's really short. It's a fantasy book, I believe, as well, but with more Asian characters in this story and in this world. It looked really cool. I believe it has elves that are assassins. I could be wrong, but it sounded really good. The book on Kindle was really cheap, and I thought, you know, why not? It's booked by a author that I haven't heard of, self-published Asian author, and it's a fantasy, and I thought I would give it a try. So that's it, guys. That is all the novels that I bought on my Kindle for November of 2020. I will put all these novels, I will make a list, and I will put it down below in the description box. And down below will also be a list of all the booktubers I have mentioned throughout this list as well. So please check out these channels, they are awesome. I'm a massive supporter of all these booktubers, so watch their videos, subscribe to them, like their content, and give them as much love as you possibly can, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a massive like, comment down below, let me know if you have read any of these books. Let me know what ones you would recommend me reading first, and also let me know what ones you would like me to review on my channel. and I will make them a top priority. If you have enjoyed this video as a whole, please consider smashing that subscribe button, as it always helps the channel grow. If you do subscribe, please click on the little bell notification, just so you know whenever this guy uploads videos, which is every Monday and Friday. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, guys. And more importantly, guys, Merry Christmas. Hopefully it's going to be a Happy New Year as well. I'm not really sure how 2021 can be any worse than 2020 was. But have a nice Christmas. Stay safe, stay healthy. Keep reading during this festive time of the year. And if you're feeling down, do what I did. Put up some decorations. Dress up in some silly jumpers. Wear a silly hat. And watch some festive Christmas movies, and maybe it will get you into the Christmas spirits through this difficult time of the year that we've all had, no matter where we are on this fantastic planet that we are all living on. So yeah, so with all that said, I will see you all in my next video.